Gene therapy, does it always have to be gene-specific? Luxturna, the first gene replacement therapy, which provides the retina with healthy copies of a gene, called RPE65. However, Luxturna can only work for those whose sight loss is caused by faulty RPE65 in the first place. And these individuals number less than 1,000 in the US and less than 100 in the UK. A small number of other gene therapies are in clinical testing, but again, they almost always target a specific gene. With over 300 different genes potentially responsible for inherited retinal conditions, that leaves a huge number in our community without a treatment option within reach. Researchers are investigating other approaches, such as cell-based therapies, which have the potential to work regardless of the causative genetic fault. But are there particular genes that, when injected into the back of the eye, like Luxturna, can overcome a myriad of underlying problems? Cone rescue. There are two types of light-sensing photoreceptor cells in the retina, rod cells, which are concentrated in the periphery of the retina and tend to degenerate early in the course of retinitis pigmentosa, and cone cells, which are found in the middle of the retina and are responsible for detailed central vision. More than 10 years ago, scientists discovered that rod photoreceptors produce a substance that is vital for the survival of cone photoreceptors, and named it rod-derived cone viability factor. As rod cells are lost in retinitis pigmentosa, the amount of RD-CVF declines significantly, and the cones eventually suffer as a result. Biotechnology company is now investigating the possibility of boosting RD-CVF levels in RP via a gene therapy approach, with the ultimate aim of preserving central vision for much longer, no matter what the underlying genetic fault. The treatment provides copies of the genetic instructions for building RD-CVF, which are then used by photoreceptors and other retinal cells to ramp up production. The RD-CVF genes are packaged in harmless viruses and delivered via subretinal injection, just like Luxturna, but have the potential to exert beneficial effects regardless of the disease-causing gene. It is hoping to begin early-phase clinical trials in France and the USA in late 2022. Resetting retinal cells. Meanwhile, a company called Ocugenes, hoping that one particular gene, called NR2E3, might have the power to reset and stabilize retinal cells that have been damaged by a number of different underlying genetic faults. NR2E3 is what's known as a modifier gene, which can significantly affect disease outcomes, impacting onset, rate of progression, and severity by influencing key biological networks. Studies in 5 unique mouse models of retinal degeneration, all with different genetic faults, showed that NR2E3 gene therapy rescued photoreceptors from further damage after disease onset. Ocugen has started an early-phase clinical trial of this therapy in 18 people with RP, caused by mutations in NR2E3 itself, or in the RHO, rhodopsin, gene. Ultimately, they hope to test the treatment across a broad range of genetic diagnoses. These two examples demonstrate the potential for gene therapy to make a broader impact, because they are gene-independent therapies. To increase the success rate of the gene therapy, take STEM Active, the best pretreatment for RP gene therapy. Research has shown that RP patients who supplement with STEM Active and consistently consume it for 3 to 6 months of the year have had, on average, an annual decrease in the loss of retinal function by 20%, as measured by ERG, in comparison to those not taking STEM Active. It is made of organic natural herbs and has absolutely no side effects for all genotypes of RP. The main principle of it is to increase blood flow to the retina, improve oxygen and nutrient supply to the rods and cones, maintain the healthy optic cells and activate the dormant cells. It is also the best pretreatment for increasing the success rate of future gene and stem cell therapies, as it optimizes the microenvironment of the retina and includes anti-inflammatory, antioxidative, and anti-apoptosis components. Genetic material can be injected into a certain zone in the eyes and eventually cure the disease. But without a healthy microenvironment, an inflamed surrounding could end in a complete failure of any therapy. Make the order of STEM Active online, www.restorevisionherbs.com.